Hi, this is Pratik from Techistop, and today in this video we'll be discussing about Terraform plan command. So in the previous video we discussed about Terraform init, like how the Terraform initializes the working directory and how it installs all the plugins and the modules. And so the next part would be the Terraform plan. So how do we plan our infrastructure and what all are the options available with the Terraform plan command. So we'll go through that. So let's get started. So this is the agenda. So Terraform plan command working. So how does it work, what it does internally, and what is plan command and its options, and then we'll give a short demo on how that command works and what all options are available and how those options can be applied. So this is how Terraform plan command works. So it basically refreshes the state to bring it in sync with the remote object. So there will be a state file and there will be an actual AWS infrastructure. Here we'll be using AWS provider in our demo to spin up a new VPC in AWS infrastructure, AWS account. So this AWS infrastructure which we have, so it brings in brings the Terraform state in sync with the remote configuration, and then it compares with the current configuration. So there will be a .tf file which will be compared with the updated refreshed Terraform state file, and whatever difference Terraform sees between the Terraform state and the current configuration file, it will generate a plan and with the proposed changes of that what all changes we have to do to bring in the configuration in sync with the actual infrastructure. Okay, so this is how the Terraform plan works. So the Terraform plan command syntax, it has Terraform plan and then the options which we have to provide. So there are multiple options available. We'll go through them in our demo. So let's switch to the Visual Studio Code to do the demo. So this is the Terraform configuration which we have. So we have a required provider as AWS and its source is HashiCorp AWS and version is 4.59, and then we have so we have configured some credentials and config file. So I'll not be able to show you the contents, but yeah, fully, but these are the contents. So in the credential file we'll configure the key ID and the access key, so that the Terraform can create new resources into the account. So you can get it from the IAM section of your AWS account, and then in the configuration we'll set in what region we'll be configuring all the cloud objects, and what would be the output. It will be JSON. So these are the these will be the contents of this config and the credential file. And then so we are trying to create a resource which is of the type AWS VPC, and its name will be demo VPC. So we have a CIDR block assigned and some tags being assigned, and that is being assigned through a variable which is named tags. It is of type map of a string, and then we'll output the VPC ARN number, so which gets generated once the Terraform creates the objects in the AWS account. So let's start with the terminal. So first we'll initialize the Terraform through Terraform init. It will download all the plugins which we have mentioned in our configuration. So if you see here, .terraform file directory has been initialized with all the providers, and a log file is being generated with the provider version which we have downloaded and all the hashes. Then let's try to create a plan. So we can create a plan simply by typing Terraform plan. So if you see here, the variable is being defined, but there is no default value being assigned to it. So we'll assign a value to it, so something like name, and then we have test VPC. Okay, or we can write it as demo VPC only. And one thing before proceeding, I just want to bring to your notice that this tf state log file, log.info, this is the log file which I was talking about in the previous video, wherein the Terraform will lock the tf state, and it will create a lock, and then only it will perform all the operations. So if it is not able to get this log, it will not be able to proceed. So now let's enter this tag value, and it will generate a plan with this value. So if you see here, it gives you a plan. Okay, this resource will be generated with all these attributes, and some of the attributes would be known after the resource has been generated, has been created in the AWS account. Okay, and there's one another option which I'll show a little later, that we can save this plan to a file, and that file can then be used to apply to the AWS account, which will have the same effect, but it is a it's kind of an automation which you can do. Like plan command will create a plan file, tf plan file, and that file then is being taken as an input by the Terraform apply command, and which in turn will create all the resources in your cloud account. Okay, so this is the plan. So let's apply it once. We'll enter the same tag name. There's another way to provide these values, I'll show you a little later. Name will be demo VPC, and so it will ask for your consent. You have to type yes to approve. So it is creating the VPC now. So if you see, the ARN number has been given in the output, so we can copy this and we can go to our AWS account, and so if you refresh it, we'll see VPC being created with the same CIDR value which we have provided. Okay, so this is how we can plan it, and we can apply the plan which has been created by the Terraform, and it creates the resources for you, and the tags have also been added. So let's add some tags here. So I'll just say its type is dummy, just a dummy value I want to use. So I'll save it. So now you have changed the resource out of the Terraform control. It's not done through the Terraform, so we would like the Terraform to first fetch the state of the resources from the AWS account remotely, and update the TF state, and accordingly it will then plan the changes. So let's get the changes. So for that we'll use a refresh only command to just refresh the state. So I'll just enter the same okay, so I've entered it, so it is refreshing the state now, and if you see, it has shown that something has changed remotely, and which was not done through the Terraform, and it has shown that these are the changes. Now okay, if say I want to save it in a plan file, so I'll just say refresh only, and that would be out, and I'll mention a Terraform VPC update plan, VPC tag update dot tf plan. Okay, so it will create a tf file which will have all the details of the plan. Okay, so yeah, it has created a plan, so tf plan. So now what we'll do is we'll copy this command, so it basically takes in the plan and applies to it. So apply has been completed. Okay, so this is one way we can simply create a plan and provide that plan to the apply command. So in that case, apply command will not like ask for the consent. So it means that, so providing the tf plan will instruct the Terraform that the auto approval has been given, and it can simply apply those changes to the remote object. So nothing has changed because those changes were already there in the remote object. Okay, so this was another thing which I wanted to discuss. And so what else? So there are other options as well which we can use, like destroy can also be used, which acts as a, which in that case plan will use Terraform plan command will be used in a destroy mode. But we have other options with that, which we have other command as well, like Terraform destroy, right? Replace is used, replace equal to address, it replaces the that particular resource only. So we have to provide the given address, and it will, so whenever it creates a plan, it will only update, it will address only that particular resource only, or refreshes that particular resource only from by comparing its configuration, its state file with the configuration which is there in your remote account. Then target would is also same, it instructs the Terraform to target resource with a specific address. Then there are certain other ways through which we can pass in the variable which we have declared. So let me show you a demo for that. So in case I have to plan with a var file, so we have created a tf var file which has a tag mentioned here with the name this. So I'll just change it to test. Okay, so I'll use this same var file so that I can apply an updated tag to it, and yeah, updated tag to it, and I can also mention the other thing like type equal to dummy. Okay, so I'll create a plan. Okay, it will show you what all changes would be done. And Terraform apply same var file. Okay, I'll say yes, so it will apply those changes to the remote object. Okay, one has changed. Now, so since we are done with our all the options, so we can go ahead and save it. So I think it would have let me apply it again. Apply. So when you use apply command, it basically also does the work of your plan command as well. So it creates a plan and ask for the approval. So you don't have to every time plan and then apply. You can simply apply as well. Okay. So now once you are done, we can destroy the object as well. So for that, either we can use plan destroy or we can simply use destroy. So it will ask for the tag values, and I'll just copy it, or I'll just write it down. Name test VPC, and then we have type domain. Yeah. So it asks for the approval. I'll say yes, and it will destroy the VPC. So if you see, the VPC would be gone now. Yeah. So the VPC which we had created, this one, is not available now. Yeah. So yeah, this was it from this video. So thanks for watching this video. I'll be back with a new video soon. Thanks.